his guys to victory. I'm joined now by my good friend Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loves so much?
For me, Brandon, it's the word joy. He brought that to the game of football, brought the game to so many people. He stayed in his entire life. And moving forward, when you think of football, you're always going to think John Madden.
Coliseum back to its original 70s glory. What a scene in the East Bay, and we're underway in the John Madden Legacy game. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first, and Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice because he wanted to practice.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Much as he could, and his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
First and 10, it's Favre. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And you know, we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. He played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon, and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the draft of 30 rounds then.
Here's Favre to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force it.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Right there weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Sanders here as they run out of the gun, and he will carry this one in. Touchdown NFC. A 5-yard touchdown run, and the NFC has taken the early lead. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves. Sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. And Hall not going to bring this one out. So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in the conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Holding. Defense.
And now, oh boy, this is a bit of a surprise, to be kind. They accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay. Throwing on 2nd and long. Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete. But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles. With quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons, he coached with the Vikings. And it was there during that time, I think Coach Matt realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy who could throw it around pretty well, Doc Coryell.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Sanders. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 1 quarter in the books at the Coliseum. What a day. The NFC Stars with the early lead. The John Madden legacy. The NFC with the football here to begin the second quarter. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. But Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course. And the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. Touchdown! George Kittle from 8 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced to punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. But the AFC making their way out, and it's one of Coach's favorites, another local guy, Tom Brady, who will be at the controls. And boy, Coach always admired the way number 12 could run an offense, and especially his ability to stay calm under pressure.
Tom Brady is a guy who's always looking downfield. He never looks at the rush. He hangs in the pocket, and he makes a throw. He's a cool guy, and he's a tough guy. Let me tell you, there's no one calmer in the pocket than Tom Brady.
And I know that Coach has a great appreciation for Tom Brady, who turned 45 back on August 3rd, because Coach coached a guy like him in George Blanda, who played a long time in the NFL. In this game, it features legends and active players. Tom Brady qualifies as both.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the draw, here's Allen. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Hey, we want to let you know, give you a fair warning that coming up at halftime, the folks at EA Sports have put together a very nice package in tribute to Coach Madden. So make sure you stick around for that. Again, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's the Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor doing what he does best. On is the Hall of Famer Ray Guy to punt this away on 4th down. Here's Hester. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The NFC heading back out. Hall of Famer Randy Moss a part of this offense. And Coach Madden, boy, he always appreciated the ferociousness with which number 84 attacked the football in the air.
As Randy Moss says, just chunk it up there, dog, and I'll go get it.
And, Coach, boy, did he ever go get it. Over 15,000 receiving yards, 156 touchdowns. And how about this? From his rookie year of 1998 until 2009, those were his prime seasons, right? He led the league in touchdowns 5 times, but even more so, he showed us all how to go up and get it. Great body control. No one's ever done it better playing the ball in the air.
It's a gain of 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. That's down the field to Moss, complete. Touchdown! Randy Moss, 38 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The AFC offense heading back out. You know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great Raider teams. And I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think everyone's looking for. He's a guy that can make some big plays from that tight end position. Let me tell you, you better make sure you have him accounted for on every play.
Well, coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a very special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by Trey Mosley.
What comes to mind when you hear the name Madden? Is it the coach who led the Raiders
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Boy, Charles, yeah, that is really well done. Coach was something else, wasn't he?
I'm reminded what Al Davis said when he was inducted coach of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Brandon. He loved the game. He loved his team. He loved the Raiders. He loved this league, and you can see it with everything he does.
No doubt, but it's quite possible, though, that now he would say, hey, enough of that. Let's play some football. And the second half forthcoming from Oakland.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42. He just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Lawrence Taylor. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Anderson on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete. Here's Ray Guy now as he's on to punt for the AFC. On the return, Hester. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first. He's got a man, complete. And touchdown. Jerry Rice, 68 yards. And the NFC just continuing to pour it on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now to try to add the extra point, the lefty Anderson. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And that will come the offense as they take over. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. 2nd down, and back they go to Sanders. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. On 1st and 10. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And that's picked up by the AFC.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have, where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. There he goes, right side. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Anderson on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points. Interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady. Yeah, he'll find Hall. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So 2 minutes to play in the John Madden Legacy game. And the NFC well in control. And we'll be back to Oakland after this. He's got a man. Andre Reed complete. So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. Takes it at the 7. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them. It tries for Rice, intercepted. Picked off by the... Saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you talk about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him, and now it's a staple for all analysts.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard.
He's got a man complete. The 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And it's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about it.
So it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. And before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
just say this. I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all.
Time to decide how you're going to make your Madden NFL 23 debut. You could put yourself back on the game's biggest stage and raise that Lombardi in Super Bowl 56. Become coach once again and become coach once again and captain a team of legends and stars to victory. Feeling a little rusty head on over to the main menu. Head back to the brightest lights of them all and take the field in Super Bowl 56.
Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm ballin' like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Then the juke move, Heisman, stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. It is not a game, it is not a game. Banging on your chest when I come through the paint. Never been about the money or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blue, strips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm still with you.
Head on over to the main menu and see the full array of options you've got to work with at Madden NFL 23.
I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet from South Carolina to